The dangers of talking too much about your sex life with other women. My story. Ladies, we all have that one person in our friend group who never shuts up. One day, I was out catching a bite to eat with the ladies at 𝐜𝐸𝐬𝐷, a restaurant we frequently ate at. When one of the ladies in our group, Microphone Martha, that's not her name, but that's what we secretly call her, started to conduct her daily broadcast. Microphone Martha reminds me of that Run DMC song, "You talk too much, you talk about this, and you talk about that." Microphone Martha started talking about her new man and how good he was in bed. She told us how he sucks her toes, bends her in different positions, and how hung he was. While she was broadcasting, my mind wandered off and I thought to myself, oh yeah, I want some of that. For a split second, I was tempted to get his number and call him. I observed the faces of the other ladies. Apparently, I wasn't the only one thinking the same thing. She went on and on and on. A few months later, I heard that Microphone Martha caught her new man with another woman. It turned out the other woman was our waitress from 𝐜𝐸𝐬𝐷. Ladies, please, please, stop broadcasting your intimate details about what you and your man do behind closed doors. Before we start the video, let's take a moment to reflect on how wonderful and brave you are with a short affirmation. I want you to clear your mind and take a deep breath. Then release it. Now, with feeling, tell yourself, I free myself from oversharing. I have learned to let go of trying to impress others. I forgive myself for the choices I made that turned out to be not ideal. I am human, I make mistakes, and I forgive myself for them. Now give yourself a big hug and say to yourself, I love you. Let's begin your journey to positive habits. It all starts with you. Enjoy the video. Ladies, let me set the scene for you. It is girls' night, and the wine is flowing. The conversation turns to love lives, and suddenly, one woman starts gushing about her man's prowess in the bedroom. She goes into detail about their intimate moments, leaving the rest of the group feeling, well, a little uncomfortable. But here is the thing. This scenario is all too common. As women, we are often encouraged to share everything with our friends, and there comes a point where we forget the line we call boundary. That's right. We forget that there are some things that should be kept private. So in this video, we are going to talk about one of those things, sharing intimate details about our sex lives with other women. While it may seem harmless, there are some serious risks that come with oversharing, and it is time we start taking them seriously. So if you have ever found yourself in a situation where you have shared a little too much, or if you are curious about why oversharing can be problematic, then keep watching. We are going to dive into the psychology behind this behavior and explore some of the consequences that come with it. Let's get started. Why oversharing can backfire. Ladies, I know it can be tempting to share every juicy detail about your love life with your girlfriends, but let me tell you, it's not always the best idea. Sure, it might feel good to brag about your man's sexual abilities, but have you ever stopped to think about how it might affect your relationship? First of all, sharing intimate details about your relationship can have some serious unintended consequences. Think about it. Do you really want everyone to know what happens behind closed doors? When you start sharing intimate details with others, you are essentially inviting them into your relationship, and that can be a dangerous thing. It can lead to gossip, rumors, and even judgment from others. And let's be real, no one wants to be the subject of gossip. But it is not just about other people's opinions. Bragging about your man's sexual abilities can also create jealousy and competition among other women. You might think you are just showing off how lucky you are, but in reality, you could be making other women feel insecure or even envious of what you have. And that is not a good look, ladies. And let's not forget about the potential trust issues that can arise from oversharing. Your man might not appreciate you sharing intimate details about your sex life with others. And who can blame him? That is private information, and it should be kept between the two of you. When you start oversharing, you are essentially violating his trust, and that is not a good foundation for a healthy relationship. And let's not forget about the trust issues that can arise when you start oversharing. So just don't do it. But these are not the only dangers of oversharing the details about your love life. Let me tell you the actual reason you should stop doing it. The consequences. As I just said, oversharing your man's performance in bed is a recipe for disaster. When you start bragging to your girlfriends about how good he is, you are inviting them to think about him sexually. And let's face it, that is not a road you want to go down. Before you know it, your friends are imagining themselves in bed with your man and becoming attracted to him. And trust me, this can lead to some major drama. You might think it is just harmless fun, but it can quickly turn into a situation where other women are trying to steal him away from you. Even if they don't act on their attraction, it can create tension and awkwardness. Suddenly your girls' nights out are filled with side-eye and snide remarks. And if you are not careful, it can lead to losing your relationship and sometimes losing your man to one of your own friends. Yes, you heard that right. It could happen. Let me paint you a picture. Let's say you are out with your girlfriends at a bar. One of your friends has always been a little flirty, but you have never thought much of it when it comes to flirting with your man. This time, you brag about how good your man is in bed, and bam! She starts getting attracted to your man. Now, she wants him too. She starts making some not-so-subtle comments about how good he looks, how lucky you are to have him, and how much she would love to get to know him better. Now, you might think it is far-fetched, but the truth is that she is already imagining herself in bed with your man. And once those thoughts are in her head, it is hard to shake them off. She might start texting him, trying to initiate conversations and subtly hinting at her interest. If you are not careful, things could escalate quickly, and before you know it, she is trying to make a not-so-subtle move on him. And what if your man reciprocates the flirting? You don't want that, right? And even if your man does not reciprocate, the fact that your friends are actively pursuing him can create some major tension and awkwardness in your relationship. Suddenly, you are second-guessing every interaction and wondering if they were trying to steal him away from you. This might all seem like a bit of a nightmare, but the truth is that it is a very real possibility when you overshare about your man's performance in bed. So, my advice to you is to keep your intimate details to yourself and focus on building a strong, healthy relationship with your partner. After all, that is what really matters in the end. What you need to do. All right, ladies, let's talk about boundaries. We all have them, and we all need to set them, even with our friends. When it comes to sharing intimate details about your sex life, it is important to know what is okay and what is not. First off, let's get one thing straight. You do not need to spill the beans about your sex life to your friends, no matter how much they ask. It is your private life, and you have every right to keep it to yourself. Now, if you really want to brag about how amazing your man is in bed, do it to him. Trust me, he will appreciate it way more than your girlfriends. Not only will it boost his confidence, but it will also deepen your connection with him. So keep your sex life private and focus on building intimacy and trust with your partner through open communication and mutual respect. Your relationship will be stronger for it, and you will avoid any unnecessary drama with your friends. How to avoid unwanted situations. I know it can be super uncomfortable to deal with unwanted attention from other women who have heard too much about your man's skills in the bedroom. But don't worry, there are some things you can do to detour them from your sex life. First of all, If your friends start asking for details about your sex life, you can simply say that it is something you prefer to keep private between you and your partner. It is not rude or prudish. It is just a boundary you have set for yourself. If they are really your friends, they will understand it right away. If someone does express interest in your man, don't freak out. Instead, try to steer the conversation toward other topics. Ask them about their own love life, or talk about something completely unrelated. This can help shift the focus away from your man and your sex life. It is also important to remember that you cannot control other people's feelings or actions. If someone makes a move toward your man, it is not necessarily your fault for sharing too much information. You can only control your own behavior and how you react to the situation. You can choose to confront the person and let them know that their behavior is not appropriate. Or you can simply distance yourself from them if it becomes too uncomfortable. Ultimately, the key is to prioritize your relationship and your partner's privacy. It is okay to share some things with your friends, but there is a line that should not be crossed. By setting boundaries and being mindful of what you share, you can protect your relationship and maintain healthy friendships. That was all for today. I hope this video helped you in every way you expected it to. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where a friend shared too much information about their sex life with you? Or have you ever done it yourself? Do you have any personal tips or advice to share that can help someone? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on loving yourself with positive habits from the Habitude Project. Stay positive and never give up on yourself. Thank you so much for watching.